If you are waking up anxious every morning, this video is for you. I know what it feels like. You open your eyes and your heart is pounding. You've got all these intrusive thoughts flooding in, and you feel like something bad is always about to happen. And it is extremely, extremely exhausting. I struggled with this morning anxiety for years as it was part of my generalized anxiety disorder. But at the start of this year, I decided to study about anxiety, about my symptoms. I basically tried to heal myself, and it worked. Now I don't wake up anxious anymore. So in this video, I'll break down why morning anxiety happens, what your nervous system is doing, and the counterintuitive method that finally made my morning anxiety disappear. So let's get into it. Right now, you probably might think there is something wrong with you. You might think, why me? Why am I always waking up like this? And I understand why you feel that way because I've been there, but you are not broken. The reason this morning anxiety feels so intense is because when you wake up, your body naturally releases cortisol. It is called the cortisol awakening response. And it happens to everyone. It is what gives you energy to start your day. But since you are already struggling with this anxiety disorder and having multiple panic attacks almost every day, your nervous system has become hypersensitive and dysregulated. It is hypervigilant. It is constantly scanning for dangers and threats. So when that cortisol spike hits, your nervous system misinterprets it. Instead of reading it as, oh, we are waking up, we need to start our day, it is reading the cortisol as danger, we are under attack. Then it floods your body with all these adrenaline and creating all these intense physical symptoms, and then put you into this fight or flight state. That's why you're always on edge, even though there is no an actual danger around you. So the next time when you wake up and you are having this morning anxiety, pause for 5 seconds, take a deep breath, and say to yourself, this is just a cortisol spike. There is nothing to be worried about. This is just my nervous system is overreacting because my nervous system is hypersensitive. And you might think, why should I say it like this? But the truth is, when you pause for a moment and see that morning anxiety just as a cortisol spike, you create distance between you and the painful panic that you're feeling. It just doesn't feel as scary as before, because before that, you are on this hyper alert, hyper on edge state, and it feels so scary. But when you change your perception around this, it literally doesn't feel scary anymore. And the most interesting part is your nervous system doesn't just react to this cortisol, it overreacts to almost everything. And once you understand why is that happening, everything will start to make sense. The truth is, you don't just wake up anxious, aren't you? You get anxious when you are at the grocery store. You get anxious after you have coffee. You get anxious at home doing nothing at all. It all feels random and out of place, but it is not. Think of your nervous system as a smoke detector. A normal one would only go off when there is an actual fire. But an overly sensitive smoke detector or a broken one would go off when you make a toast, when you try to cook something, when you light a candle. The same is happening to your nervous system. It is just trying to protect you. It is doing its job, but the problem is, since it is too sensitive, it is doing its job too well. It is reacting to every single thing as a danger. This morning cortisol, your caffeine, crowded place. These are, if you look at objectively, just normal things that everyone do, everyone experience. But for you, all these things feel danger, all because of this hypersensitive nervous system. And because of these reasons, it is so important to understand and know how to regulate this sensitized nervous system. And I already made a video about that, so it's in the description, so check it out. Now you understand what is happening, so how do we actually fix it? The thing that I'm gonna tell you sound completely backwards, but it is what made my morning anxiety fade away. Every time you wake up anxious, I know you probably have tried at least one of these things, like doing breathing exercises, seeking reassurances, try to numb it out, or waiting until that feeling fade. Or sometimes you may even avoid the things that triggers you, like not drinking coffee or avoiding the social situations. And at times, those things might help you. But the next morning comes and you wake up anxious again. And that is a big problem because all these things are like coping things. They help you in that moment alone. They don't give you that long-term freedom. And the truth is, every time you try to cope, every time you try to numb yourself, you try to make the feeling go away, you are basically telling your nervous system that this is dangerous. We need to get rid of this as soon as possible. And your nervous system heard it and says, see, I was right. We are under danger. So we need to be more on high alert. So it makes you more anxious. And that's how you get stuck in this anxiety cycle. And the way out of this cycle is acceptance. You let that anxiety be there. You just let it exist and continue with your life anyway. Now, I know what you're thinking. Won't it get worse? Won't I spiral even more? Isn't this so deadly? That is the anxiety talking. The objective truth is that your anxiety cannot hurt you. It is uncomfortable and it seems scary and deadly at times, yes, but it is not dangerous at all. It only seems and feels scary because of the things that you're thinking when you try to really get rid of this. But when you finally try to accept it and when you finally see all these things at what they are, like this cortisol spike, this nervous system sensitization, it doesn't feel scary anymore. When you stop fighting it, your nervous system gets a message like, oh, we're actually safe. We don't need to fight anything. Think about it. If you are really in danger, you won't be trying to calm yourself down. You'll be doing something. You'll be running. But when you don't react, when you go on about your day, even though that morning anxiety exists, you are proving through your behavior that the feeling that you're feeling is just a false alarm. And over time, your nervous system naturally desensitizes. So I'm gonna give you a concrete steps you need to do when this morning anxiety happens. You do nothing, literally nothing. You will get this heart pounding. You will get this racing heart, all these intrusive thoughts. Trust me, it's going to be uncomfortable. You do nothing. And as I said before, take a deep breath and pause for 5 seconds and say that reassurance to yourself and go on with your day. Don't sit in bed and wait for that feeling to fade. Don't try to avoid anything. Just keep going. Just do what you need to do. And when you do that, you are not letting the anxiety controls you, and your brain will scream, what are you doing? We need to fix this. You need to get out of this. But just ignore it and keep moving. And within hours or even minutes, you will notice a shift. Your anxiety might still be there, but you won't get afraid of it, and you will realize that I can function with this. It doesn't scare me anymore. And if you keep doing this, after some time, your anxiety window will shrink. Maybe at first you are anxious from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. and then like 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. and then 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then suddenly you don't get anxious at all. Your morning anxiety will fade gradually, not through doing some breathing exercise or doing some quick fixes, but through allowing your nervous system to recalibrate. And everything I've just shared is just the foundation. If you really want to how to handle your panic attacks, how to deal with all these intense physical symptoms and to heal your anxiety, to get recovered from it, I already made a step-by-step video on it. It is the exact process I use to heal myself, so check that video out. I hope you guys enjoy watching this video, and if you get some sort of value from this, consider subscribing, and thank you so much for watching, guys.